Welcome to Find Your Fridays. You're here with me, Lorene. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get some background stuff going. Fabulous. Cool. That's all sorted there. How are we doing today? I hope you're all doing very super well. I'm doing okay. We're feeling a lot better than we did last week with our back and all. It's getting better and better each day, which I'm grateful for, because I tell you what, it slowed me down heaps this week, which is maybe it's a good thing. I don't know, but I've become this week one of those, just for this week, I'm gonna say, I'm telling my body, just for this week, you can be one of those people that says, oh, it just takes me so long to get up and moving in the morning. It's like I have a lot more respect, I guess, for the people who do have back stuff. Hi, Melinda. Going on, and they say those sorts of things to me, where it's like, yeah, the back certainly slows down the speed at which you can get out of bed and get moving in the morning. But yeah, no, we're feeling much better and happy and grateful to be alive. You know, there's a lot of very interesting things happening in the world at the minute, and the time is now for enjoying life as you have it. So more to say on that in a little bit. Yeah, so that's all good. How have you been, Melinda? How are you going, my love? While you choose to share or not, I'll have a look and see what we're going to do for our weekly reading. Who's going to play for the weekly reading today? Ooh, interesting. Is it going to be a one card? It is. Yeah, I'm just very fortunate, Melinda, that I have a bloody brilliant physio that gives me so many different things all at once. When I was talking to Simon, and I was saying all the bits and bobs that I get done, the TENS machine and the dry needling and the massage and the ball massage thingy-what's-it, and he was just like, whoa, you get so much. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I tell everybody that he's bloody magic. Like, go see him. And so this physio is based in Paraka. It's Adelaide Physio and Podiatry, if I remember rightly. And Dr. Hassim is the guy I see, and he's so good. So good, and I'm so grateful. And he always runs on time as well, which is amazing. And so yeah, cool. You said you've worked a few extra hours this weekend. Glad to have the weekend off. Yay! Yeah, it is nice to have a quieter weekend sometimes, isn't it? So just doing the shuffle for the 22nd to the 28th. How did the full moon treat you last night? Obviously, we've still got, not full moon, new moon. Obviously, we've still got shadow period happening at the moment. And while we're on that subject, I think I saved a couple of things, if I remember rightly. Along with learning that men's knees and women's knees are different. Where is it? I do with it? I could have sworn I put, maybe I just sent it to myself. I do that sometimes. Nope. Isn't that? Okay. I did get to eat mulberries yesterday, though. That was really nice. Nope, I didn't save it. That's really annoying. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just double check. I thought I'd saved it, but I obviously did not. Or did I put something up on my page? Did I do that, Linda? That might explain why a co-worker at work today was really bitchy. Oh yeah, I got asked a very similar question around that today, actually, a couple of days ago, and asking about why. The interaction was really funny. In fact, I'll share that with you guys now. So they said to me, they said to me, hey, quick question. Is there any reason why the Libras in my life are acting like cunts at the moment? I'm a Cancer, if that helps at all. And this was on Monday, so not quite in shadow period, but getting pretty bloody close. I said, if they're anything like my brother, that's the operandus modi. But also, Mercury is in retrograde at the moment, and that can make people be absolute wankers because stuff just doesn't work as easily as usual, and it can make people feel very frustrated. We've also got Scorpio for a new moon happening this week, and we are currently in shadow period, which can make people go a bit lulu as well. And he goes, well, that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. And then we went on to talk about other stuff. But yeah, the new moon, the Mercury retrograde, it all just puts, and being in Scorpio as well, just adds a whole nother layer of like just real spiciness to the week. Oh dear, because let's face it, if you even know a Scorpio, you know that they're spicy people. Hi, Tamara. I hope your live went really well, darling. I saw it in passing as I was getting ready. I've got a potluck dinner to go to tomorrow night, and I was having a little afternoon nap because I was going, it's all right. I'll go and get the stuff that I need to do for the potluck thing tomorrow. And then I get a call from the lady because it's actually a family I used to be a carer for. And every Christmas, and it's usually Christmas and around her son's birthday, that we usually get together twice a year. And it's her previous care team and current care team come together. And it's a potluck, and so we all bring something. And I had a plan for something in mind that would have been fine to do tomorrow, which is like a sea salt pistachio fudge. I've never made it before. It looks easy and simple, and so that's what I was going to do, except I was going to make them into like little Christmas trees and put some decorations on them and sort of mush two different recipes together. Anyway, she rings me today just before 5 o'clock and goes, just wondered, if it's not too late, can you bring the layered jelly that you did last year? because everybody loved it so much and we really want to have it again. And I was like, well, I'm glad you rang me now because now I have time to get down to the shops to go and get what we require for the layered jelly. So that's fine. So it was a last minute change, but I ended up getting the stuff for the fudge anyway because I'm kind of like, I've got a Christmas thing coming up in a couple of weeks, so those things can just wait. But who knows, maybe I might make some beforehand. You know, you've got to test these recipes and all. Oh dear. All right, so for the weekly reading, we have the Shaman's Dream Oracle has come out. Now, when that comes out, it's not generally a lot of cards. And, oh, okay. Interesting. So we have one card that has come out for this week to come. And we have seen this one before. It's been a little while. In fact, we ended up doing a meditation around this particular one, which is really, really cool. So obviously for this week to come, there's going to be some more self-reflection stuff coming up and some inner child work. What a surprise. All right, so we've got Root Girl here. The disowned self, hidden beauty, the need for acceptance and love. Root Girl sits shivering, unclean and naked at the base of the tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted and shunned for her deformities. She has no home, but is safe burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this urchin be the one part of you that reintegrated can lead you to wholeness and true purpose? This is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures, manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others or any emotion, instinctual or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you could only look into the Root Girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks for your compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and you were conditioned to believe you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child self came to be, this child self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. So, as I said before, we have worked with the Root Girl before, a few months ago now. But given that we're in the Scorpio season, for this week to come, I would highly recommend, given that we've had this coming up for this week to come and only this, that's all that the collective wants us to focus on this week, is when you notice those moments of irritation come up, those moments where you go to shut down, push away, avoid, and pretend like those darker parts of you don't exist, or if you come up against someone who triggers you in that way, pause and look at what's going on inside of you, okay? Because sure, there could be some legitimate points of reference there that mean, yes, there's danger, or yes, it's time to cut ties or whatever, leg it out of there. However, quite often what happens is that it's the root girl making herself known for you to look at and heal. And she will have come through because of ancestral stuff. She will have come through from, those old family patterns. And she's the one that's really asking for you to break those familial cycles. Because if those familiar cycles didn't exist, she wouldn't exist. Or he, if you're a male. Okay? So just be aware of that this week to come. Be aware of where where you feel your hackles getting up, and start looking for where do you actually require to have compassion in your life rather than, pushing away, being angry, irritated, whatever. It's like, how can you bring more peace to your life this week? And what love do you require to bring into your world to make that possible? Okay, here we go. 1 week of focus on self-love. Let's have a look at our yummy card, see if that brings us any other information. Oh, dear. And of course, for those watching, if you do wish to have a beautiful reading, feel free to donate. The little thingy that runs across the bottom, it's in the show notes, it's in the pinned thingies. So I love doing extended readings for people. And if you want to stick around a bit longer, we do quite often do some freebies, and you'll always get lots of other interesting information popping up and through. So this absolutely makes sense. We've got tenderness. That is your other key word. It's the tenderness for this week, tenderness of self, and just get down and vulnerable, because you know what? Scorpios, they're soft and squishy on the inside, but man, oh man, that exoskeleton is tough. I say this from the experience of dealing with my niece. So I've got Puka Radiance today is my tea. I think it's got mint and ginger and fennel and something else. I can't remember what else it's got, but it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. So just before we go too much further, you'll notice over behind me here, there is a wee candle. And sometimes I have like my candles that are just like not real, my electric candles. They'll quite often be up there, but today it's a pure white candle. And that candle is to represent a beautiful 27-year-old who passed away this week. We've had a conversation, and she unfortunately was vaccine injured, and a couple of years back, and it was pretty bad. She went from being a normal, happy-go-lucky, partying, kind of normal 25-year-old to suddenly being deaf, paralyzed, unable to speak. And so the next couple of years have been incredibly hard for her. So she is and was a very close friend to Simon, and I just wish to honor her tonight on the podcast by having that candle there for her. She really, truly, her energy is so beautiful and vibrant, and while she is relieved to be out of that body, she's very aware that people are going to miss her. And I'm just say thank you for the like little conversation that we got to have just during the week. Yeah. So this is my moment to open to you all, to remember your nearest and dearest, whether they're alive or, in spirit form, and to just take a moment to send them all some love and remember that sometimes we just don't know when's going to be our last day. She hadn't been particularly well for a couple of days, but was nothing that anybody thought was overly major, and then she just stopped breathing. So in her sleep. So that was a blessing, I guess, but still. So yes, remember the ones that you love. Send them a message saying, hey, thinking of you, message them. It's so beautiful. I've gotten to hang out with another friend today. I'll be hanging out with a different friend on Sunday because they've both reached out to me in the last few days going, hey, thinking of you. Can we catch up soon? And I'm like, yes, we can. Because I'm not going to the Sounds at the River thing. I've got many other things to do, and we weren't able to get tickets for me, so that was fine. I'm fine with that. I'll go next year. Yeah. All right. That's enough of the heavy, serious stuff. Tamara, thank you very much for your donation. What is your question, please? And I have been hardcore on the hunt for a new diary for the new year, because I've loved working with this one this year. This is the one that's beside me every single podcast. I've really enjoyed working with it because it shows like a whole month, and then it's got like all the moon cycles, and it's so good. And it shows me like the different signs when they're clicking in and all that sort of jazz. And obviously you could see just briefly, I like write on it, and there's plenty of room to write and all of that sort of thing. So it's been just so good to have that. Do you think it's been that easy to find? I did look up that one specifically for 2026, and I'm like, okay, I know I can get another one of those, but I wonder if there's something else. Because I would really love to have probably one that's more of ring bound, type styles, like a spiral bound one, so it sits flatter. But a lot of the ones, but a lot of the ones that are have the 1 month per, like a 1 month spread is like over the entire 2 pages. Like there's nowhere extra to write. But I did find the Lelwyn's 2026 Witches date book, which looks good. And it's either that one, or there's one that's an 18-month, it's weekly, monthly date book, witch illustrations, a witch planner. It's got moon phases and holidays, and it's got journal stuff and, all the things. So I'm like, maybe that one too. But the second one that I was talking about, the witch planner, it doesn't show any other images other than the front page. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, so it's like I like having space to write in and around, but I also, a lot of planners and stuff they don't even have the 1 month at a glance. And I like having the 1 month at a glance thing. It's like, it's good. In fact, in some ways I prefer that to the weekly one, but the Lelwyn's one looked really good in it, that it actually has like the symbols of the planets, and then it also had the write-ups for each of the like Ostara and Selwyn and all that sort of stuff. It's also got recipes in there, and I'm like, has things around the moon signs and like the daily magical influences. For example, because it is Friday is Venus, which is love, friendship, reconciliation, and beauty. So, for example, I am curious. So, colors we've gone for today is sort of dark blue. Yeah. Let's have a look and see, because there's also stuff in there around colors and stuff like that. Let's see. Blue, indigo, turquoise is around psychic awareness, healing, and sleep. So maybe I'm leaning more to the Lelwyn's one. I don't know. Haven't quite decided yet. It is spiral bound too. So I would love it if it was Southern Hemisphere based, but I'm also very aware that it's so difficult, and I can just adjust things around like I did, and I can take the information that I've got already written down in this one for the conversion over to Southern Hemisphere stuff. So yeah. Okie dokie. So that's my journey this week, trying to find a new diary. Oh, and this won't mean anything to anybody who doesn't have reptiles in South Australia, but I learned today, because I was needing to go, by the way, I have a pet python, for those of you who didn't know, and she's going to need some more food next week because she ate her last food this week. And I went to go and just check when Gully Reptile Centre is open, and they've closed down. After so many years of being in business, they've had to shut down. And I'm like, whoa. So, yeah, I was just, so luckily I went through the comments of the main one, and there was somebody who was like, hey, if I can't come to you guys, where can I go? And I'm already in touch with someone who does do like food delivery, reptile food delivery. But I found out there's actually 2 other reptile places that are, one's in Burton and the other one was in Elizabeth something. And they're both within about 15 minutes of me. So that's actually closer than Gully Reptiles anyway. So I was like, oh, but still, it's sad when you see, a home grown business going under like that, or choosing to stop working, stop being in business. It's just, they said, the cost of the building and all of that sort of stuff was just getting out of hand, and they couldn't handle it anymore. So that's what they did. Oh, Tamara, your team's being very nice to you this week. Maybe because it knows that you're already having to do a lot of work with your inner child stuff, as was with the root girl. And yes, of course, I'll let you know, Melinda. See which one I go for. I did have a quick peek in the, what do you call it? the newsagent bookstore, the bookstore. And they were okay in there. There was some, but I was just like, no, I'm not really finding the thing that I really wish to have, you know. I did have a look for, or I actually asked someone, Lisa, who is, I sent her a message actually this week asking her sage guidance, and she suggested the what is it called? See if I can bring it up for you guys. Yes, follow the link. The Stacey DeMarco 2026 lunar, because I did ask for something that's Southern Hemisphere, and that's, ooh, can you see that one? There you go. So she suggested that one. But it didn't really say if it's got like what the setup of it is. And I don't really wish to spend that much money on something that I don't know if it's even got a 1 monthly layout. It's like, at least tell me what it is. Tell me what it's got in it. So Sophia code update. I haven't done one this week, understandably, because my anchor is a little bit raw right now and it's just not an appropriate time. So we're having a little rest for a week, and then we'll be back into it next week. We've got White Buffalo Woman next week, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, Samara. Interesting. Your team is now asking for you. So in case you guys were wondering, this is the Secret Language of Color Cards by Ina Segal. Not quite my first. No, I think I got those once I came here, actually, because I got into color work then. Not my first deck, but certainly one of my most favorite, because they're simple. And you can get a lot out of it with just a little bit of intuition. So we've got attractive relationship, and looking at the rest of this is like they're kind of guiding you towards this, and that there is some work for you to do, and they're kind of giving you the framework of how to do this, and they're giving you a little bit of like a nudge in that direction. Okay, thank you, Melinda, about the Stacey DeMarco diaries. Thank you. I was kind of getting that feeling that it wasn't going to sit right. So attracting a relationship, this is, of course, not only, this is a double meaning one. This is not only the relationship as an intimate relationship. This is about the relationship with yourself. And the relationship with yourself is going to come to a greater space of peace this week. Doing that will help attract a romantic relationship. Okay, so obviously we're working with the root child, the root girl this week as well. And with that, we've got orange, which is about nurturing yourself. So coming back to that beautiful place of sacral, focus on your sacral this week. Focus on the color orange, your sacral work, looking at what emotions and stuff are stored there for you. Doing some healing around that, however you choose to do healing. And really come back to the place within you where you can feel safe enough within yourself. Okay. Because the next card, look at these two very similar colors, but this one's peach. And this is inhale a breath of life, which as we are looking at our lovely root child, root girl, similar colors. How fascinating. That breath of life is about talking in this sense, the breath of life going into you in your darkest places. And it can be very challenging to do that, as you know, and to look at those places and being really brutally honest with yourself as to where you are mistreating yourself, where you're being toxic to yourself, where you might even being a little bit narcissistic or gaslighting to yourself, and making yourself think that you're less than or not good enough or whatever it might be. Those little background dialogues going on, that's the stuff that's going to come up this week. And you're going to have to start addressing those things. Okay. So first things first, nurturing, and then you're going to have to breathe some life into those darkest spaces of you. That's why we've got the candle there. All right. So that you can enjoy the process. Because it doesn't have to be super traumatic. It can be quite funny. Like when I was in the healing with Melinda, and we had Kali Ma step in to assist, and I literally ended up in a argument with my masculine side, my feminine side, and Kali Ma just standing there going, it's time to let it go. When you're ready. But it was kind of like, when you're ready, you know what I mean? It's like, now would be good. But when you're ready, probably within, the next 30 seconds would be even better. But yeah, so that's a part of it, just having that little bit of humor along with seeing and honoring all of those parts and pieces. So even within that healing that I did with myself, with Melinda and myself and Kali Ma, and that there was looking at the pain that I was holding on the top of my hip, and the points of views and the belief systems that's what the pain was. And my masculine and feminine side were having the argument over whether it's okay to let it go. And it was a very funny little conversation, I can tell you. Intense at the time, but it was funny. Your last card, my dear, is Brilliance. And this is about discovering your sparkle. See, it's so bright I can't even put it on the screen for you. There we go. Discover your sparkle. So what is it that makes you uniquely you? When was the last time you sat down and wrote what things you love about yourself? What are the skills, the attributes so like if you write it down, maybe about yourself, but if you find that too challenging, write down from your friend's perspective, from your best friend's perspective, what is it about you that makes you so special to them? Write that down. And what you might discover if you do it for a couple of friends and think about what each friend, because, different friends require different things from us, right? And you start looking at it from that perspective, you start seeing what a gift you are and what your sparkle means to other people. And from that, it's like you can place a lot more honoring on you for the gift that you be to the world. Okay. Yummy, yummy. So we've got a few exercises for you to do this week. Yes, you're going to have a busy week. But I love the way that they brought it out in colour. Isn't that so cool? So maybe start at your base chakra, work your way up to your crown. Oh dear. The crown and beyond. How interesting that you were pondering this today. I have done that process actually. And I have a funny feeling. When was that? I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was within the last few years that I've done it. And just it may have even been looking at it from a business sense, I think, as to why people would, choose to come and see me versus someone else. I shuffled these cards. Tenderness is your yummy card for this week. If you recall, that was the key word for the group healing as well. I'm no magician. I can't pull out the same card even if I was to try. So there we go. Thank you so much, Tamara. I hope that reading helps give you a little bit of direction for this week to come. Thank you so, so much for your kind donation and your continued support for Find You Fridays, and of course for me and for Crafting Possibilities. And so grateful for you. And I look forward to seeing what the week brings for you for this next week. Thank you. Mwah. Ah, yes, Ina Segal, you are such a gift. I think she was due to come through here, wasn't she? Has she already been and gone? I can't remember. Cannot remember. I was going to go. And then other stuff popped up and I just couldn't get tickets at that time. And it was all too much of a kerfuffle, so I just left it. But it would be really awesome to go to an Ina Segal workshop for sure. That would be really cool. Maybe next year. Next year is the year of the fire horse. I'm a horse. That's why I say, because I'm an Aries and a horse. So it's like if I don't bash you in the head, bash you in the guts with my head, I'll kick you instead. Kick you from behind with my legs. Oh dear, that's part of my very interesting sense of humor. But yeah, basically when I put my foot down, the whole world feels it. Because, I've got that very stubborn ram side, but I've also got the very strong horse side. So it's a lot of forward movement and quite a lot of stubbornness that can come through at times. And that's been part of my journey to learn how to temper both of those parts of me so that I can actually have friends. Because, friends are nice to have, I have to say. can't all be solo stallions out there. Melinda, it's your turn, darling. What would you like? What is your question? that is my question to you. What is your question? Pop that in the chat right now. Your team stepped in and it was just like, whoa, hi guys. Beautiful. This is gonna be interesting. Let us have a look. Your team picked the Egyptian alchemy oracle. So we're gonna get the gift of Hermes Trismegistus today. I actually really like that word, that last name, Trismegistus. It just sort of rolls quite nicely. Does mean some reading though, so hope you don't mind. What are you all doing for the weekend? I'd love to know. I have this advent calendar tree that I made at craft class many years ago. And because we used double-sided tape, the double-sided tape hasn't held up. So I have to do some repairs on my tree, my advent calendar tree. And when I first created it, I used it in a really, really different way. And this might be relevant to you, Tamara, too. I am going to save that story because I'm focusing on Melinda now. But remind me to come back to the advent calendar. Whoo-wee. Okay. I really have to this is good practice for me, Melinda. I'm very happy. Okay, let me just check. Cool. All right, so the first card that you've got is from the section on correspondence. The distant is near as your toes sift through the earth to enfold the stars. Isn't that lovely? All right. Cool. So there's the card. If you want to have a closer look, let's see all the stars. And it's a pair of prayer hands. Isn't that cool? Took me a couple of seconds to figure out what that was. All right, so it says, feel the universe you are. There we go. Where are you looking for answers to life's deepest questions, and who is looking? No matter how small we may be or feel, we are all part of and connected to the infinite. In our own unique way, each of us is the universe within, reflecting the boundlessness around us and reminding us of our own limitless potential. The English poet William Blake poignantly expressed this age-old truth with the words, "To see the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. As above, so below, as below, so above," say our Hermetic forefathers. This miraculous symmetry is manifested at every level of life and creation, within and between each of the great physical, mental, and spiritual planes of existence. The second card in the correspondence suit, Feel the Universe You Are, calls on you to open your heart, mind, and soul to your God-given potential and birthright. Everything you require, you already have. The seed of the divine is planted within you. You were born with it. You are indeed that grain containing a world of possibility. All right. So initially, they're just saying, please acknowledge you're an amazing, absolute gift and a miracle. First of all. And it's the other side of that is stop doubting yourself. Okay. Have I got the right one? Nope. Okay. Cool. Your second card is from the All is Mind. The world is within. The world is within, like running sap inside bark. Tree's mind, mind is tree. Hermetic principles. We like them. Would you like me to read a little bit more about that? Maybe not. Maybe not this time. I'll just read you your card. All right. So you got number 1 from this one, which is open your mind. So I'll just show you that one a little bit closer up so you can see. You see the symbols, the light language in there? Isn't that cool? Alrighty. The first great Hermetic principle, or the all is mind, raises the question of how finite a human being can comprehend the infinite mind. It's an expression of the divine paradox. To the Creator, the universe said to be like a dream or state of meditation, while to finite human beings, the world must be regarded as real. Our life, actions, and thoughts are all based on what we assume to be reality. But in the words of Shakespeare's Hamlet, there's the rub. For just as we are contained within the all, so each of us must represent the Creator, meaning the all is also within each of us. The Open Your Mind card is an opportunity to start again with a fresh outlook on everything you ever thought or believed to be true about your life, or a situation you may find yourself in right now. The first card in the suit calls you to walk the path of mental transmutation. A new way of thinking allows you to let go of old ways, thoughts, and attitudes and embark on the path of spiritual growth. By grasping the unity that resolves paradox and contradiction, you can fuse polar opposites with true. You can fuse, not confuse, but can fuse polar opposites into true wisdom. Prepare yourself to drink deeply of the Hermetic teaching and invite the transforming power of its 7 ancient principles into your life and being. Let go of everything you believe or ever thought you knew. What is real or not real? What is true or not true? And have you ever wondered who is asking? So this is very interesting card to pop up, considering you've got the first one, which is like, you are the universe. And now this is like, not only are you the universe, you've got to remember you are the universe, and all the possibilities exist within you. All of them. And that's very much along the similar lines as what I've been uncovering, or rediscovering rather, through the Sophia Code as well. Everything before, everything after, everything to come. It's all within you, all within your molecules. And you have to let go of the stuff that's holding you back. Those old pains and pathways, the root girl stuff. That's what you have to let go of. Okay? And to just be present in the now, and that beautiful light language. How interesting. All right. The next one is the same principle again. Or the all is mind. Okay. Okay, and this is the purify your attention. So I'll just show you that card nice and close up. Does that look like a butterfly to you? Fascinating. Release distraction and reclaim attention. Do you find yourself constantly switching from one thing to another? Are you in a continuous state of distraction? The first great Hermetic principle highlights the crisis of attention in the 21st century. A tsunami of information competes daily for your mental focus across multiple virtual platforms: social media, text, email, podcasts, and business, advertising, and marketing. As artificial intelligence becomes more sophisticated and invasive, we need to find a way to claim back our capacity for deep thinking and sustained focus. The Purify Your Attention card urges you to heed the call of the ancients, to see and grasp what is happening today, and to take every step to come back to your authentic creative self. Meditation and the conscious breath, stillness, the tools you require are at your disposal. You hold the wisdom of the eternal within you. By understanding and putting into practical application this and all the great Hermetic principles, you learn to purify and reclaim your attention, the innate power of your mind to reflect the cosmos in thought, imagination, and vision. While I was reading that, I was remembering the absolutely incredible conversations that I used to have with my friends when we just had text messaging, when we had limited numbers or letters that we could text with each other. And so we'd often end up emailing instead, but we'd have these absolutely fascinating conversations and little phrases that we would tap into. And this is going back years and years ago. And in fact, I created 3 books from it, and I hand created them. If you like, I can show you those after I've finished Melinda's reading, because I know exactly where they are. And I love that this is brought in about AI, when we do stuff like talking to ChatGPT, for example, for advice, we are outsourcing our own awareness of what's actually true for us in our body. And this is something that has worried me greatly for a long time, about, ChatGPT and the other AI stuff anyway. And it's interesting that it's coming up in this too. So what I see for you, Melinda, is like just keep coming back to you. What is your awareness of what is true for you? Okay. And as it says, purify your attention. Don't get so distracted by the social medias, the technology stuff. I know it's so easy to do because it's all right there. But take some time. And even if it's just a little chunk each day, take some time of quietness and just tapping in to what's you require to do for you. Okay. All right. Polarity is for your last card. Opposites are one. It's a matter of degree. Transcend toward some. I just love that. I'll just read the first little bit. Exploring the fourth great hermetic principle of polarity, we begin to grasp the interconnectedness of these great axioms and how they work together to bring about mental transmutation. The fourth principle recognizes the dual nature of everything. All forms of life and creation, two extremes or opposites, are contained within the one, creating a whole. We see that different degrees of vibratory motion, as explored in the third principle, characterize the continuum between opposing poles of an object, entity, or manifestation. You ready? Move towards spirit. Show you that card. Look at that. There's a nice little sky angel happening up the top. It's just beautiful. These cards are just stunning. I absolutely love them. I can see why they asked to come and be part of my collection. So shift, evolve, and transform. Do you find emotions inexplicable? Inexplicable? Get my words out today. Do you have many questions about spirituality? The fourth hermetic principle asks us to first observe the continuums of the physical world: hot, cold, wet, dry, high, low, light, dark, north, south. By analogy, we see the connection to our mental life, how emotions we may have thought to be different in nature are simply a matter of degrees. For example, love and hate vibrate at opposite ends of the same spectrum. The same applies to fear and courage, sadness and happiness, or negativity and positivity. In the often confusing area of spirituality, polarity is a trusted compass, a tool of navigation. In the bigger picture, we grasp that matter and spirit are opposite poles of a continuum, differentiated solely by the level of vibration. The fourth card in the suit of polarity, move toward spirit, calls you to lift your chemistry in all that you feel, think, and do. Free yourself of any identification with the lower aspects of your being and consciously evolve along with the continuum of being. Gradually and steadily bring about the shift from selfishness to selflessness, ignorance to enlightenment, eros, which is passionate love, to agape, which is the love of mankind. I prefer humankind to mankind, but anyway, directing your whole being towards the light. Okay. So I think you already kind of got the message, but they just gave you that last little key there of it's taking you towards unconditional love, and enlightenment and selflessness. And selflessness doesn't necessarily mean poverty. That's not what selflessness means. Selflessness is talking more so about not being selfish. But I just wish to clarify that one too. It is not selfish to nurture yourself. That's an aspect that we require to do. to be able to give more unconditionally. So it's about care and maintenance of self, so that this beautiful body being that you have is able to be a contribution to the greater collective, right? So it does get a little bit mucky when we talk selfish versus selfless. I think the key is there, it's less, not none. It's not self none, it's selfless. So it's like, it's not all about you. It's also, it is about you. And that's the polarity, isn't it? So it's not self none. You're not to be a doormat, because that doesn't help you at all. So there we go. I just love these cards. I really do. What great images. I don't know if you could see, but there was actually is all the words, are all of them there? Yeah, they are. So along the outer edge of the doorway, actually it's on, just embedded really, really lightly into most of them, but this is probably the easiest one maybe to see. Right on the edge here, if I go up really close, you might be able to see it if I can get it. You can see it a little bit easier through here. There's actually all the 7 principles symbols coming up the doorway there. That line there is all the symbols of the 7 principles up there, and over here as well. Not so easy to see in that one, but they're all embedded in there, which is really cool. Alrighty, so you've got a lot of work to do too, my dear. Just keep coming back to unconditional love and nurture yourself, and catch yourself when you're starting to slide into the old stuff, particularly around your family. That's going to be really crucial for you. Oh, that was the card that we needed. It's so excited. It's jumping everywhere. Forgiveness. That is your key word. Keep coming back to that space of forgiveness. Free yourself. Allow yourself to know that it's okay to let go of those old past traumas. Okay? So that you can open your mind, because the longer that you hold on to that stuff, the harder it's going to be to purify, to keep your focus going forward and moving towards spirit, as it says. But I just love the fact that the very, very first card that came up was feel the universe you are. It's like, remember, you are so freaking special, and don't ever forget that. Okay? They are beautiful cards. Yes, they are. I love the pictures. Thank you to you and my team on this wonderful, insightful reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hugs! Big hugs to your toe, my dear. It's always interesting when those cards come out, because it's like, I feel like those cards in particular only really come out. So before I go any further, this is an absolute credit to you, because I feel like those particular cards only come out with those who are ready to hear the messages. If you haven't done the work, those messages are just not going to land, so those cards don't come out. So thank you, Melinda. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for all the work that you've already done in life and in your spiritual journey. Thank you for your very, very kind donation and for your continued support of Find You Fridays. I am so, so grateful for you. And I'm just What a very interesting week you're going to have. I feel like it's going to be a lot of reflection stuff, and just reconnection, especially over the weekend, is what I'm feeling and hearing. Okay. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tamara, over the weekend, she is watching all the seasons of Stranger Things before season 5 is released on Thursday. Oh, nice. I did watch a little bit of Stranger Things, but I didn't really get into it. I remember something around, there was the big pit at the school, with the plants that were growing out of the wall. That tells you how much of Stranger Things I watched. Alrighty, let me just double check what that was coming in. Oh wow. Ooh. No way. Sorry. So I ordered some Lady Grey loose leaf tea, and I ordered a bottle of frankincense and myrrh aromatherapy mist, because in the Sophia Code journey there's a lot of references to frankincense and myrrh, and those are two oils I do not have. And I was like, yeah, so I was hunting around, having a look at some different things, and found a place. And I only ordered them this week, and apparently it's delivered to my PO box. Exciting. How lovely is that? Anyway, back to the advent calendar story. Yeah, it was delivered first thing this morning. Wow, 9:24 a.m. God, I love having a PO box. Don't always love the cost, but I do love having it. Anyway, so the very first year I had my advent calendar, I was working on my levels of receiving, because it had become very painfully aware that my levels of receiving were very low from males and females. So what I did was something that was pretty bold for me, and this is something that Tamara, you might like to take inspiration from. But what I did was I showed them the picture of my tree, my advent calendar, and I asked for people to help me in the process of being able to receive. And what I asked them to do is to put in the comments underneath that post all the ways that, or any way that people feel connected to me, or feel inspired, or enjoy me, or whatever. I can't really remember the exact words of it. Basically, just say something nice, essentially. And because for me to receive compliments or admiration or anything like that was so difficult back then. I always craved the praise from like my mum, but being able to, because I never practiced receiving the praise, I didn't know how to. And so by the time I've hit my 40s, I'm like, I need practice doing this, people. Actually, no, it was my late 30s when that happened. Gosh, that tells me just how long it's been. Anyway, since I've made that tree. And what I did is I wrote them all out, on each one on an individual piece of paper. And there were way more than I thought there would be. And so I ended up filling up every single box. There's 24 boxes. I filled up every single one. And then I just started back at the top again. And I actually just put the rest of them in randomly. So there are some days there are 2, there are some that are 1. And it was what I ended up doing that Christmas. I was on my own and I didn't go to anybody's house. It was the first Christmas I'd ever spent by myself ever in my whole entire life. And I just made the day really super special. And for me, doing all the things that I like to do and have, like food that I like to have. And I made it just for me, just for fun. And in the morning, I got dressed up because it was just for me. And I had yummy food. I actually did yoga in the morning. And then I got dressed up. And then after a little while, I sat down in front of my tree and I started opening up each of those boxes and sitting with each of the comments and really receiving them. And I can honestly tell you, through a lot of that, I was crying, but it was happy tears. And you know that moment where in a lot of the kids' movies where they go, oh, his heart grew 3 sizes that day. That's how it felt. I felt like my levels of receiving in my heart just got cracked open that day. And it was just like finally able to receive. And it was just so beautiful. I haven't really looked at the comments or the messages since, so I probably will once I've refixed all the front bits of my tree. But yeah, just something to think about. It was a bold request, putting yourself out there in that way. And who knows, maybe I'll do it again. See where my levels of receiving are at. Because we've only got, 31 days in November? No, it's only 30 days in November. So I've got 9 days before the 1st of December. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to revisit the can I receive at this level task. And then if I do that over the next 9 days, I could actually open them up one day at a time. That could be nice. Challenge you to do the same. Oh dear. Melinda watched a few episodes of the Stranger Things, and she remembers the school and the plant. Who would have thunk? All right. Let's do poetry time, hey? All right. What question do you have? Let's do the question thing. I really enjoy being able to do a question specifically for the poem. Write a question down in the chat. And all right. I have a different question than I would normally ask, and I've written mine down. So write your question down in the chat, and then we'll do the expanding out exercise, and then we'll find our poem number. Okay. Do you know one of the hardest things for women to do, is especially women who have been in survival mode for a really, really, really long time, potentially their whole lives, is learning how to receive? Because for many of us, receiving meant obligation. Receiving came with hooks and ties. Receiving came with like backlash. And so it's a bit like you can't, there's a little weird thing that happens in the brain of thinking, I can't receive from someone because then they're going to be expecting XYZ from me. and therefore I have to very quickly make it up to them so that then they don't, then I'm not in debt to them. It's a really weird dialogue that goes on in the back of the brain when you're in survival mode, and being able to receive something and just saying thank you is like, and that's all that requires to be said, is one of the hardest things to overcome and in the recovery process. I feel it's like, yeah, it's a really interesting one. Nobody's got any questions today. Interesting. Nobody's got a question for me. Sad face. All right, we'll keep it open. Unless you guys are still writing. Write your question in the chat. And then once we're done that, then we'll do the expanding out tool, and then we'll do the poetry thing. Who would have thought I would have written a book? Oh, that's right. I was going to show you guys my book. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to show you. Oh, that's not going to be long enough. I'm going to show you this, and then I'll go get the books, and then I'll show you. I'm back. All right. So you remember how I was saying about the very insightful conversations, messages that I was sharing with my friends. So that was back in, I don't think I have it written in my notebook, 2008. Yep. So that's a little while ago. And what ended up being created was these wee books here. There's 3 of them, 3 volumes, and each volume has its own colored paper. And I ended up making about 30 sets of these at my kitchen table from scratch, covers and everything. As I went over the process, like as I continued making them more and more and more, I refined it and just got a bit better and all of that sort of stuff. But the core of it stayed the same. And these are basically all the little sayings that we shared between us, between me and a few of my friends together over that year. And it was quite the process. And every single person who received these books had them in their favorite color. And no set is the same. So here's the third. Well, this is volume 2. And it was like by volume 2, I'd even made it so it had a proper little copyright, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so for example, it was like, let's find one. So it was things that are both insightful and funny, because there were some males and some females. So One of them is create your dreams now. See it, believe it, live it. Have a great day manifesting dreams into reality. If everyone got off their ass and did an honest day's work, we wouldn't have so many fat asses. If you need to rest, do so. If you need to cry out of frustration, then do so. Be respectful of your body's needs. Most of all, enjoy life because fun will smooth many bumps in the road. So it's just, there's a lot of all sorts of aspects. All right. When things are not going your way and you've lost motivation, do not despair. Have faith that something will happen to turn your life around in a positive direction. And that was from my dear friend Teresa. Oh, this one is so relevant. Oh my God, from 2008. Can you even? Forgiveness of yourself is a powerful release of the negative aspects which hold one back from taking positive steps. Have the courage to be honest with yourself and great things will happen. That was from me. 2008. Wow. Oh, thank you, Melinda. It was just this one day I was just sitting there going, I have to do something with this. Like there was so many there was several that I didn't save. And then I started writing them down and I just went, gosh, I think I've got enough here for a book. And then it just went boom, 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 boom. Super fun. And of course, at that time, red was one of my favorite colors. So of course I had to have red. Red still is one of my favorite colors, those nice reddy colors. Thank you for your question, Melinda. That's a very interesting question. Mine's quite a different question too, so that's cool. So yeah, these books have travelled all around New Zealand. Well, actually, no, they travelled from Hawke's Bay to Hamilton and then over here with me. But these books, these sets of books ended up all around the world. They ended up in America, all over New Zealand. Just, yeah, super cool. So that was my first books. This is my next book. All right. Time to expand out. Close your eyes. Take a big deep breath. Breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Becoming aware of your body. Become aware of your body, in your blood, in your cells, in your molecules. Seeing how they are all interacting together, how nothing is stuck or stagnant. Now expanding out your awareness, out in a big bubble, up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness, out beyond the size of the country that you're on, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes. Take a big deep breath in and out. Focusing on your body once more, but keeping your awareness nice and expanded out. Grab your sense of allowance and expand that out. And a big bubble all around you, up into the sky, down into the earth. Remembering that as you expand out your allowance, you'll no longer be at the effect of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You'll be able to just see it for what it is. It's just energy, and you can let it float on by. Expanding out your allowance, up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the country that you're on, beyond the size of the planet. Beyond the size of the solar system and the galaxies and beyond the universes. And now expanding out your allowance beyond your awareness. And now, in answer to your question, what number between and including 1 and 88 truth is going to answer your question today? Let me know in the chat what number popped into your head. Cool. Now, Melinda's number was 18. Reaching out, help me in this time in my life. Help me to get through these days smoothly. Help me to see the bright side. Help me to achieve what I wish in life. Help me to move on to the next stage, to make the most of the only life that I've got. Help me to be happy, but most of all, help me by being there in thought, feeling, or just as a presence. So please, help me. I would say, Melinda, that's a yes. There is a very big recognition there for you at least asking. Like, that's a bloody good start. You can't receive if you never ask. And it might be worth having a look at groups on, like, Facebook groups within your area. Might be a good place to start, and just see what pops up that way. Because there's a lot of groups that are floating around Adelaide. You've just got to find the one that's right for you. So, yeah, that's where I would start. But clearly, even just asking is a really good place to start. And that's what your poem is saying. Reach out and have a look. Because if you don't reach out, all you're going to get is a no from the universe. Okay? So that made absolute sense to me. Cool. I asked the question because I don't normally say which numbers pop into my head, but I'll let you know because it's just me right now. Okay. So I asked the question of how can I best support Simon at this point in time, as he's grieving and all of that sort of stuff. And I got 45, which was serenity. Two old souls coming together to form one, living as if it's always been this way. Happiness surrounds us like a light emitted from our being. A calm has spread over me, just as the ocean after a storm. This peace I embrace unquestioningly. Gosh, that's an interesting word. Along with this feeling of wholeness. So basically just keep being serene and keep being how I be. That's the best way to support them. How cool is that? What a great way to use the book. Yes, have a look at Facey over the weekend. You just never know what will come up. Like, there's just so much cool stuff out there now. So cool. Now, I was thinking about the meditation for tonight. And something was popping in my brain from your reading. Which one was it? Just see if I can find it again. I think it was that one. 'Twas indeed. I just love how these things just kind of pop up and then it's like, yep. Okay. All right. You ready? You ready for a meditation? I think that's just jolly awesome. And cool. We are going to work with Open Your Mind card. Okay. And so this meditation is going to allow you to start, as it says in the book, to let go of the old ways, thoughts, and attitudes and embark on the path of spiritual growth. So sometimes, even when we've been doing this work for a really, really long time, there are moments where we just kind of get a little bit stagnant. Sometimes we go through a little period of just being. And that's okay. That's actually a really, really good thing to do. There's nothing wrong with just being for a while. It's part of the pendulum swing. Like, there's this moment where we sit right smack bang in the middle, where nothing is overly good and nothing is overly bad. It's just, it is what it is, and we're just keeping on moving forward. And the only downside to that is that sometimes we get a little bit stuck, because we're not really going either way. But it also means that we're not being activated to actually deal with our shit, because this when we're getting a little bit of sway in our pendulum, we are actually being activated to do the healing work, to keep moving forward, to being encouraged to look at the different possibilities of different modalities, etc., etc. So sorry, something else just popped into my brain there. I require to write that down. Cool. Oh, I'm so excited about going and picking up my parcel. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So within this meditation, I'm going to ask for you to really have a look at that ball of light in the middle, behind the waterfall, through the doorway. You see the ball of light there with all the light language in the middle. Just take that in, have a look at that. Sort of commit it to memory as such, because you're going to have your eyes closed shortly anyway. Okay, cool. And we're going to allow that ball of light to communicate with us. Okay, so just in case, I'll just give you another little bit to have a look at that. Look at the ball of light and lights in the middle, and all of the symbols. Okay, cool. All right, let us see what we can release today. Close your eyes. We're going to go up to Theta to do this, because it's a beautiful space and it's a lovely healing place. Imagine the bright white light shining into your heart, going down your body, all the way down through your legs, through your feet, down through to the center of Mother Earth, curling around the center of Mother Earth, and then moving all the way back up, all the way back up through your feet, through your legs, through your body, up through the crown, creates a big bubble above your head. Imagine that you're inside that bubble and you're floating up higher and higher through the golden light, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the pink misty clouds, through the big opening where there is bright white opalescent light streaming through. Moving through until you're completely surrounded by the bright white opalescent light. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, the bubble around you dissolves. And breathing in again, breathing in all of that beautiful bright white opalescent light, which is actually unconditional love. Breathing that all in through your body. And breathing out, allowing your body to relax deeper and deeper. And now imagine that you're in a beautiful, lush forest, like a rainforest. And your surroundings completely change, and you can hear the sweetest chirping of the birds, and maybe some cicadas or crickets. As you look around, you might see the odd butterfly, and you can hear slightly in the distance, but not too far away, you can hear a beautiful stream. You can hear the water just rolling along, creating little baby mini rapids as it bundles along over the rocks. And you can hear, as you walk towards that river or the stream, you can hear the water sound getting a little bit stronger. And as you approach, you realize why. It's because there's actually a wee waterfall there as well. It's about 3 times the height of you. Not too big, but big enough to make you go, wow. And it's in this little alcove. And as you look up, you can see how the water has, over the many millennia, carved that water, that rock out to to create this waterfall space where you feel enclosed by Mother Nature, but it just feels soft and serene. And as the water is flowing down over the waterfall, and in the mist, you see these sparkling wee lights. They look a little bit like fireflies. Or if you prefer, teeny tiny little fairy lights. You find yourself sitting down on a really soft, comfy patch of moss, observing these lights as they dance around and they create a ball-like shape, but they're still spread out. And as you look a little closer and make your eyes a little bit blurry as you're looking at them because you're so intently gazing at them, you start to see their movements are not random. A bit like when we use a sparkler at New Year's or something like that. And the light is actually creating language. Those little beings are creating light language messages just for you. And it's okay if you don't know exactly what it means right now. Just absorb the messages, absorb the symbols, because they are all especially for you. They are helping you to open your mind, to free yourself of the old, outdated thoughts and belief systems that are no longer serving you in this new golden age. In this world that we're moving towards of the 5D and beyond, those old, outdated thoughts and belief systems are no longer relevant. And this light language is part of the keys to help you release all that stuff that is no longer serving you anymore. From the deepest, darkest places of your brain, of your subconscious and your conscious, these symbols are coming in and gifting you with their presence of unconditional love and the magic that is required to undo those old, outdated belief systems and points of views and thoughts and feelings. As each of those symbols travels across and finds any of those things, the beliefs, the thoughts, you see them melting the things that are no longer serving you, melting them, dissolving them, and then filling up that space with unconditional love. And as your subconscious and conscious mind gets filled up with more and more and more unconditional love, those light language symbols move down the body, through your throat, clearing away any of those thoughts or beliefs that are preventing you from being able to speak your truth and speak your passion and your magic. Moving down through your heart space and anything that's preventing you from knowing, seeing, feeling, and tapping into your true heart, your true intuition. All all of those things, as many as possible, are being removed right now, eliminated, eradicated, melted away, dissolved with the light language, and filled up with unconditional love. And as you do this, you start to breathe a little easier. You feel the light language symbols moving down through your solar plexus, allowing your inner organs, those big major organs, to start flowing and functioning with far more ease, and anything that is stuck or stagnant within those big major organs is now being removed. Any damage you've done with food, drugs, alcohol, smoking, whatever it might be, medications, anything and everything, even the emotional stuff that we have held on to for a long, long time, preventing us from having self-esteem, or relating to the world around us. That is all being removed right now. And as it does, you breathe just that little bit deeper, because your diaphragm is becoming more and more free. You are able now to breathe deep into your belly. That light language is now moving down through to your sacral chakra, around your sort of belly button area, the top of the hips. And as it moves in and around each of those areas, through your entire sacral area, it's helping you to remove all of the thoughts, feelings, emotions, points of views, belief systems around sexuality, sensuality, around honoring yourself and nourishing yourself. And allowing you to finally tap into, in the most deepest way ever possible, your ability to be creative and to adjust with change with ease, to go with the flow. You can feel the movement of your lower back and your hips become easier. That beautiful, bright, white opalescent light of unconditional love is just filling up all those spaces and places where you've held on to so much pain and trauma, particularly from intimate relationships, parental relationships, familial relationships. All that shock, trauma, and heartache that you've been holding on to in your very, very lower belly, all of that is starting to disappear, to be melted away now by this beautiful, beautiful love language. And now those symbols move all the way down through to the base chakra, where it's now moving and melting away all the places where you haven't felt physically stable or secure, where you felt like you couldn't rely on other people or yourself, and you sure as daisies could not connect very well to the earth. All of that is being removed now. It's being removed not only from your base chakra, it's also being all of those things, especially about the physical stability, is being removed from your legs and from your feet. And as it's coming and being filled up with bright white opalescent light of unconditional love, you can feel the confidence growing in you from your feet all the way up through your knees and your legs, right through to your hips. You feel more secure within yourself. You feel more confident within yourself. And as you start to really enjoy this new space that you're in, you feel the hum of Mother Earth underneath your feet. You feel her warmth. And maybe for the first time in a very long time, you really truly feel that connected space between you and Mother Earth. And as her energy now flows up through your body, you feel it in a completely different way. You feel the waves upon waves of unconditional love from Mother Earth moving up through your body, all the way through to your fingers and through to the crown of your head. And as it reaches up through your mind, you can feel all the little seeds of possibility opening, nourished and nurtured by all that beautiful light language. Different ways of looking at the world, at looking at the people around you. You feel your kindness and your compassion, your empathy growing. Even for those people that you've maybe struggled with in the past. You can now see so much more information that is giving you the ability to be kind and compassionate. Even if that means the greatest compassionate thing you can do for yourself and for them is to step away from them. It is done with love and compassion rather than through angst, anger, pain. That beautiful bright white light of unconditional love is still flowing up through the body, pulled in from the universe all around you, from Creator and from Mother Earth. It is all moving up and through your body, eliminating and eradicating any other little fragments of the harsher ends of the polarity, helping you to see the world in a bright, brand new way. Taking a big deep breath in and enjoying the feeling of air moving through your body. And now as you breathe out, we start to float down out of theta, through the pink misty clouds, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the golden light, all the way back down through to your body. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you step into the big, beautiful crystalline waterfall, and you for once feel the power and the potency of the crystalline waterfall moving over your body. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, any other little fragments move out of your body to be washed away with the water. And now stepping out onto the big warm river rock, feeling Mother Earth underneath your feet. Big breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way back up, and again you can feel it so much deeper. As it rolls through your body, all the way up, and breathing out and letting Father Sky move all the way down, and you really feel that warmth and the masculine energy moving down through your body as you breathe out. Breathing in, bring Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And now Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone, and you can perceive just how that gratitude softens the body, even though it's with the masculine energy. Continue to breathe deeply, admiring how magical you are, perceiving within you how every universe exists within you, that you are a literal miracle. Created out of the cosmos, come together and existing in the here and now. Thank you for being here. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Please remember to have a nice, beautiful drink of water now. It's always required after energy healing sessions. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And I hope this week to come helps with you integrating more aspects of you. Remember to be gentle, be tender with yourself, and allow yourself the space, the time to tap into your inner child, those deep, dark places of you. Thank you for being here. I adore you. And until I see you next time.